What is going on, my Jets family? I want to thank you guys, like always, for tuning in to the Take Flight Spit and Fire podcast. Thank you for being here on your Monday evenings. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Sorry I wasn't able to be with you guys last week. Just wasn't able to work out, but I'm here with you guys now. That's what matters. Again, thank you guys for being here. Appreciate you tuning in, for being at the Take Flight Spit and Fire podcast. Now, before we get started, if you could please subscribe to the channel, you can do so by clicking on the logo in the bottom right corner of the screen. That'd be much, much appreciated. So, the Jets played against the Philadelphia Eagles yesterday, and it started out as a really, really good game, like a really exciting game. The game started very well. So again, I see you guys coming in. Appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for being part of the show. So the game started off really, really well. In fact, like I was just saying, it started off really, really well. Like each team had 3 touchdowns in the beginning of the game. It had the looks of a high-scoring game. And I had said about that like right after that, I think it was the second touchdown by the Eagles, I had tweeted it out saying, it looks like we could be in for a high-scoring affair. And I'm cool with that. I mean, after a lot of weeks of stagnant offense, we want Zach Wilson to, progress. Obviously, it'd be great if the defense could show up, but we want Zach Wilson to keep progressing and show he can be the guy and get better and better. That's priority one. That's the most important thing right now. So if we have a high scoring affair, I was good with that. I was like, let's go. Like, let's put the points up, but let's come out on top. Like, let's win this thing. So, like we said, the game started off well. It was the first game since the Elias Sports Bureau began tracking in 1978, where each team scored 3 touchdowns on their first drives. Very, very impressive. So again, had the looks of what was going to be a high scoring affair. So appreciate you guys out there. Appreciate everyone tuning in. We got Pure Adrenaline Fantasy Sports out there. What's up, my man? Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. As you guys know, any questions you have, bring them along. It's a conversation we got going here. Conversation about them Jets. So, you got any questions, any comments, bring them along while we're going, and we will talk about it. But like we said, the game started off well. Like we said, 3 touchdowns for each team. Within the first 3 drives, Zach Wilson has 2 passing touchdowns and 1 rushing touchdown for 3 total touchdowns. Man, it looks good. It's like we've been saying that, everyone develops at their own pace. It takes some people a little longer than others. We saw with Wilson in these last couple of weeks, and we're going to talk more about Wilson a little bit later. I have a lot to bring to you guys. Excited to bring it to you. But we mentioned these last couple of weeks that oddly enough, his issue was his throwing accuracy. He seemed to have everything else down. In fact, his reads were good. His progressions were good. His pocket movement, everything was great. He was just off on some throws, which is obviously maybe too quick feet, maybe not being set properly. Maybe the game's still moving a little too fast for him. But whatever it is, you're going to get it as time goes on. And man, in that moment, it looked like, baby, Zach Wilson has arrived. Like, this is it. So on the surface, Zach Wilson appeared to have what we would call a tale of 2 halves. In the first half, he was 12 for 14, which is pretty much damn near perfect. 108 yards for those 3 total touchdowns we mentioned. Again, 2 throwing, 1 to Ryan Griffin, 1 to Elijah Moore, pretty sure, yes. And a rushing touchdown. No interceptions. In the second half, he goes 11 for 24 for less yards, and he only threw 14 in the first half. So 24 passes for 118 yards. You don't really need the math to see that that's a much less percentage. No touchdowns, 1 interception. So on the surface, it appears to be a tale of 2 halves. But if you watch the game like me, that doesn't tell the whole story, because the New York Jets had the ball in the third quarter, for the whole third quarter, for a total of 70 seconds. 70 measly freaking seconds. So the count down a little bit for you guys. My apologies. There we go. 70 seconds. That's it. 3 plays for 3 yards. Like, that's ridiculous. That's crazy. Like, that's all Zach Wilson had. What do you expect him to do? And in the fourth quarter, yeah, they had the ball more, but it wasn't much better. The Eagles scored, I'm pretty confident. I think it was like every single drive, or they only didn't score a couple, but they just kept scoring. They just consistently kept scoring. The offense could never get on the field. So if you can't get on the field, you can't play well. And what happened with Zach Wilson, it's obvious. The team's falling behind. They're not on the field. It's just natural to when you hit the field to try to make magic happen, to try to make something happen. And he had one bad decision, one bad mistake. He had that interception. But what I felt, and I tweeted out at the time, that I felt like the fact that he hadn't been on the field for like at all in the third quarter, gets on the field, makes this bad decision. It personified it. It personified it. But honestly, if you look at it, it really was his only bad decision of the game. He had a few missed throws, like I mentioned, in the second half, most by just a little, like we mentioned, just again, maybe his footwork is just a little off, or he's hearing footsteps, whatever it is. It's all going to get better. It's going to slow down for him. And we said everyone progresses at their own pace. I said that, I felt that's why, the question Rich Samini asked, I thought was a stupid question because they're asking why haven't done anything in the first half. Well, what do you want him to say? Like, he's doing the best he can. Like, and this half, he did really, really well. So, and like we said on the bottom there, in the first half, he was fire. First half, Zach Wilson, legit fire. Like we mentioned, freaking killed it. First half, 12 for 14, 108 yards, 3 total touchdowns on the 3 first drives. Everyone's like, the Jets can't score in the beginning of the game. 3 first drives, 3 touchdowns, all with Zach, one of them rushing. Let's go. Like, I'm ready. I'm like, Zach has arrived. But the defense let us down. So I do come back to, again, that interception. A lot of people were like, oh, but again, it was really his only bad decision in the game. It was really the only decision where you're like, okay, that was a bad throw. Clearly he was trying to make something happen. He didn't have a good look. If you go back and look at it, the way the line was set up, I watched, he didn't have a good look really at the throw. He didn't have the best angle based on how the line was in front of him to actually see where he was putting it. Made a decision. It turned out bad, but he made a decision. So if you remember, though, the coaches did say to him, and you guys know with my new job, it is harder, but I try to cover the press conferences as much as I can. One of the big things the coaches stressed to Zach Wilson all week was be decisive. That was the thing. Be decisive. Be decisive. Well, he made a mistake, but it was a decisive mistake. He decided to throw the ball, but everything else was good. Again, a couple of missed throws, but again, they're going to be corrected. Some of them could have been on the wide receivers. We don't 100% know. It's all going to get corrected. We saw much better Zach Wilson this week. It's only going to get better from here. Like, we know the future, the ceiling is just limitless with this kid. And again, everyone wants, like we've talked about, that Patrick Mahomes standard, where he's not great immediately, or he has one bad week and you're ready to throw him in the trash. But other than that bad decision, he had a damn good game, in my opinion. I believe he was one of the stars of the game. But the real 2 stars of the game, man, are Elijah Moore and Jamison Crowder. Like, Jamison Crowder doesn't get enough credit. Like, he legit, like, I don't get what's going on. You guys know, you guys out there, appreciate all you who've been following me for a while, know back in the offseason, back 2 years ago, I was like, Jamison Crowder is the best wide receiver we had on the team last year. Like, this guy is legit. He doesn't get enough credit. Excuse me. People are saying, what, Elijah Moore, Crowder's not going to get play. I'm like, that's crazy. In the offseason, people thought he was going to be traded. I'm like, that's crazy too. He may not be back next year, but he's a damn good receiver. Jamison Crowder has been one of the better slot receivers in the NFL since he's joined this league, ever since he's been in it. And he's shown no signs of slowing down. Yes, he does get banged up, as little guys tend to do. He's played full seasons, though. He tends to play majority of seasons, which that matters to me. As a wide receiver, it's not like losing a quarterback. A guy like Jamison Crowder, if he's playing 14 of the 16 games, or worst case 12 or 13, that's not great, but again, it's not the worst. So you do have him for a good amount of time. Hopefully, if you make the playoffs, he's available. But Elijah Moore, man, we've been talking about it. You guys can just go back. Those of you who haven't been there, you check back the past weeks. It's been nothing but Elijah Moore. We've done nothing but talk about, I think it was 3 weeks ago, how Elijah Moore just had arrived and was just killing it and was finally there. The week before, how his averages were just through the roof. And then obviously that breakout game he had where he just was unbelievable. So Elijah Moore is proving to be a star. I even said, I'll take it back. I even questioned whether Elijah Moore could be a wide receiver 1. I was thinking about going for Devonta Adams. I'm sorry. Elijah Moore. I disrespected you. You are 100% a wide receiver 1. Truly is. Like, I hoped when we got him, I thought of like a T.Y. Hilton in a way, as a smaller guy that can be an outside guy. Wasn't sure, if how they would use him, and using on the outside in the beginning of the season, it was rough. But man, he's come on. Elijah Moore, he's going to be great. This kid is going to be amazing. Plug him wherever you want on the field, as a gadget in the backfield, on the outside, on the inside. Hell, put him on somebody's back. It doesn't matter. Elijah Moore is killing it from wherever he is. So you got Moore, you got Jamison Crowder, had very good games. Tevin Coleman had a good game. Beginning of the game, he had that great second effort where he blasted through the defender and kept running. I believe he had, and I have it in front of me, he had 11 carries for 58 yards, averaging 5.3 a carry. That's not bad. That's not bad at all. Because again, Michael Carter's the guy. We know that. Michael Carter has broken out this season. He's shown he's the guy. Tevin Coleman's just filling the spot right now. He's just keeping it warm, and he's keeping it warm pretty damn well. So that went really well. Tevin Coleman had a very good game. Update for you guys. I'm assuming you've already heard, but if you have not, Corey Davis is out for the rest of the season. As you know, he went down during the game. Excuse me. My big fear, LDT went down during the game. You guys know Laurent Duvernay-Tardif went down in the middle of the game. I'm really worried because he's been amazing. I hoped he would be what he was when he was with the Chiefs, and he's been just as good, if not better. It was unbelievable. I hope he's okay. I really hope he's okay, because Van Roten is not him in any way, shape, or form. So that being said, but Corey Davis is out for the rest of the season. He'll be getting core muscle surgery. So from that, I have a surprise take for you guys. So if you've been checking out Twitter all day, it's been all about Denzel Mims. It's Denzel Mims time. Like Corey Davis is out, it's Denzel Mims time. Davis is out, it's Denzel Mims time. But wait a minute. Robert Saleh always emphasized that there is a rotation and players have a role. They've earned where they are. He doesn't just jump players over other players. Remember, that's what fans got mad about in the beginning when we thought Mims was going to be the guy, and then he wasn't the guy, and Saleh explained he's buried in this depth chart. He's not the guy. He's not going to just jump everybody because you want him to. Well, people are thinking that again. So I want to come out and say, I don't know if it's Denzel Mims time. It might be, but baby, I'm thinking it's Keelan Cole time. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know who's with me, but I'm thinking it is Keelan Cole time right now. When this kid gets opportunities, he makes ridiculous catches. Like ridiculous catches. Like he looks like a wide receiver one a lot of the time. Like put him on the outside. Him and Elijah Moore could be a damn threat on the outside. Then you got Crowder in the middle. Man, that's just a sexy combination right there. So it could be Mims. It definitely could be. But I come at it again from the fact that everyone thought it was going to be Mims in the preseason, and it wasn't because Cole had the spot over him. Well, guess what? That hasn't changed. Keelan Cole is still the next man up. So everyone's like, Denzel Mims, Denzel Mims. I think they're going to be surprised again. Saleh said he's not going to jump guys over other guys. Everyone's earned the spot. They have to earn it. If Mims wants it, he has to earn it. Well, we saw some pretty bad stuff. I mean, obviously, a lot of people say that penalty wasn't his fault, but that is what happened. So that's what people are going to remember, regardless of whose fault it was. But the point is, I think Keelan Cole, man, that's just how I feel. And when I've seen Keelan Cole, you guys know how I feel. I loved when we signed him. He's a Joe Douglas guy. Joe Douglas has wanted Keelan Cole for 2 years, if you guys remember. Connor Hughes reported that since Joe Douglas got here, he's wanted Keelan Cole, but the Jaguars wouldn't part with him because they knew how good he was. So, could be Denzel Mims, but again, that means he's jumping Keelan Cole. So that's my surprise take, and I think I'm sticking to it. So just remember, you heard it here first. On Twitter right now, it's all about Denzel Mims. It's Keelan Cole time. Keelan Cole's going to get an opportunity. And man, look at that amazing catch he made with Zach Wilson. I think it was against the Titans. I can't remember the one where he had that unbelievable deep catch where he fell. He's made some ridiculous grabs this year. Keelan Cole deserves the opportunity, and he's going to get that opportunity. So that's my take with that. See you guys in the comments. Appreciate all you guys. Thank you for being here. Jets Game points out Moore did drop some balls. He did. He definitely did. Shouting out to those guys because they were the best players in the game. Moore did drop a bunch of balls, but here's the thing. I tweeted it out during the game. Darius Slay was on Moore. And Darius Slay, he's not like the greatest corner in the league, but he's good. I would say he's definitely like, I don't know, top 15? I guess I would probably say he's a top 15. He's not a bad corner by any means, and he's a good man corner. He's sticky. He's good in coverage. He's very tight. So he was all over Moore like white on rice. Like he was all over Moore all game. Like everywhere Moore went, he followed. So that was to be expected. I pointed out, I thought it was a great matchup. Like, I thought the two of them were challenging the hell out of each other. Moore was, remember that amazing catch that Slay broke up? But Moore still went up and put up an amazing effort to try and get it. Slay just, remember, by the end zone, if you remember, Moore went up to get it, and Slay just had his arm in the right spot. But it was a flawless matchup. And all that tells me, man, is what we've confirmed, Elijah Moore's arrived. Like Elijah Moore, again, I was wrong. He is a wide receiver 1. That dude is a legit WR1 is what I'm trying to say. Points out Jets need wide receivers to win routes. I think, again, part of the reason you're going to see Keelan Cole more, because Keelan Cole is the more polished route runner. But I'm definitely going to come back to your guys' comments. Appreciate all you guys. Please keep bringing them. Please keep shooting them in. But I just want to just cover to the defense a little bit. So we talked about the beauty of the offense. The offense really was lighting it up, man. The offense looked really good. Again, they're not on the field in the second half. 70 freaking seconds in the third quarter alone. There's only so much you can do. But Wilson, man, 3 drives, 2 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing. It looked good. But the defense did not play well. It did not. I know it's not an excuse, and I pointed it out during the game, and I think people didn't want to hear it because not many people liked it. But it is true. Whether we like it or not, the Eagles have the best overall offensive line in the NFL. The second best offensive line in pass protection and the third best overall offensive line in run blocking for the best overall line in the NFL. That is why our edge rushers and interior defensive linemen had trouble collapsing the pocket. That's why the pressure wasn't there. Receivers were able to get open. And that was also a contributing factor to my bad. There's some. I'm going to come back to it. But that is a big factor, and it gives the quarterback more time to throw the ball. Is really where I was going with that. So, yes, the defense played bad, and it was rough. It was rough. They did not play well. Like we said, I believe they allowed a score on legit like every drive. Like, not good. Not good. I get it. But, I mean, I don't know. When I was watching the game, I personally felt like the defense was not playing well, but it wasn't like they were the train wreck that people were making it out to be, that they were just being beat by a superior offensive line and an offense. And as we know, and I've said, and as Joe Douglas has said, football is won and lost in the trenches. If you don't understand that, you can't win football games. And the Eagles understand that. As we know, that's where Joey comes from. So we got to love it. But that they know that is the best line in football. So we did have an issue getting to the quarterback. We weren't able to create pressure. Minshew had a really good game. He played really, really well. His receivers got open. It was rough. It was definitely a rough game. But if you can't, I remember what I was going to say before. What I was going to say before was if you can't get past rush and get to the quarterback, even not to sack him, but just to rush him and cause the play to break down in time, the receivers can get open. Like if you give a mediocre receiver like 4 or 5 seconds, they're going to get open. Like you need to that's the issue. So the Eagles offensive line, again, the defense wasn't great, but the Eagles offensive line made a huge difference. And I feel like that's not being taken into account. A lot of people are talking about how bad the Jets defense was, and they were bad. I'm not sugarcoating it by any means. But again, they were playing the best overall offensive line in the entire NFL. And it had all the implications that we just said. So, again, this is just my take on it, but I look at this defense, and a lot of people have talked about all the injuries we've had. We've been hit with the injury bug. We've been hit with the injury bug hard. But when I take a step back and I look at this defense, what it was supposed to be, I really feel like it's not that far off. I legitimately feel like if you factor in the injured players as healthy, let's say all of them healthy next year, I feel like the Jets defense is really just safeties and one more good edge rusher away. If we break it down quick and we look at this just for a second, the middle of the defensive line, again, Franklin Myers can play on the inside. You got Quinnen, Rankins, Foley. Middle is set. That middle of that defensive line doesn't need any improvement. We've talked about getting better at edge rusher. Well, Bryce Huff is hurt. Bryce Huff was really helping out when JFM was there because now all the pressure is on JFM. When Huff was healthy, the two of them were getting back there consistently. It was great to watch. You guys remember those were 2 guys that were really on my radar. But let's not forget Carl Lawson should be back next year. And I'm saying should, but really he will be, because we talked about, players coming back healthier than when they started, because that's what you need to do to play at this high a level. We've talked about it in the past. Carl Lawson is, from reports, on track to return faster. They say he's at a further point than they expected him to be. Now, that doesn't mean he's going to be back this year. That's not what I'm saying. But being at a further point is always a good thing. That means you're healing well from the injury. So you put Carl Lawson into that defensive line now. Again, just add in one more good edge rusher, or even, hey, you got John Franklin Myers with Lawson. You got Huff there as well. Maybe you don't even need him, but you add in one more really good edge rusher, and man, that defensive line is getting to the quarterback. Think of, again, all the guys we have now, all the injured guys I just mentioned, factor in, like, I don't know, a Kavian Thibault or something. Now you're getting to the quarterback a lot. Like, you have one of the best pass rushes in the league. Now we move to the linebackers. Well, CJ Mosley has been playing better than he's getting credit for. We've talked about that. Gerard Davis is having a good season. Not great, but good. Quincy Williams is surprising the hell out of a lot of people. Quincy Williams is a potential Pro Bowler, and that is exciting as hell. This is a guy that we just picked up, another Joe Douglas pickup. You got to praise the man, guys. Joe Douglas brings him in, reunites him with his brother. That brotherly love just lights a fire under his ass, and Quincy Williams becomes exactly what everyone thought he could be with his former team, and you just got to love it. Quincy Williams killing it. Well, Hamza Nasruddin, we've all talked about him. You guys know how much potential he has. He's healthy, but he's barely getting a chance to play because CJ Mosley, Gerard Davis, and Quincy Williams are all looking damn good. Well, factor in Nasruddin, factor in Jamien Sherwood, who looked good before injury. Our linebacker core is fine. Our linebacker core, when everyone's healthy, is a damn good linebacker core. Now let's move to the corners. Well, Bryce Hall doesn't need any talking about. You guys remember I said CB1 from day one. From day one, I said he was going to be a legit outside CB. But you guys remember beginning of this season, I said this guy's going to be a legit CB1. Lockdown corner. Remember I said it's Bryce Hall lockdown season. He's proven it. So Bryce Hall, CB1. CB2, Javelin Guidry's been stepping up and playing well when Isaiah Dunn wasn't. But everyone's forgetting. Don't forget about Brandon Echols. Don't forget about Echols. Brandon Echols looked really, really good before he got hurt. He looked like a legit CB2. And the kid's got excellent speed. Remember, we talked about it. Elite speed and elite jumps. This kid can cover almost anybody, really. So Echols back healthy. You still got guys like Jason Pinnock, Isaiah Dunn, Javelin Guidry. And let's not forget Michael Carter II, who looks like a future star. He looks like a potential star at slot corner. So our corners are set. That is, again, why I come back to safeties. Right now, I don't think Marcus May is going to be returning. I just don't. Ashton Davis has looked okay. He needs to be better, but he has looked okay with flashes of good. Maybe LaMarcus Joyner will be healthy and ready to go next season, but we need safeties. So again, I really feel like you guys were just hearing it, everything I just said. I really feel like if this defense can stay healthy and these players that were hurt this year can be on the field next year, we're really only a few away. We're definitely safeties away, but otherwise we just talked about it. Line's looking good, linebackers looking great, corners looking unbelievable. It's exciting. It's really, really exciting. So I know it's rough right now with injury, with, again, going against really good teams and just not having it 100%. But this is, again, one of the youngest teams in the NFL. When all these guys come healthy, I really do. I really feel like when you factor in these injuries, this defense is really just one or two really good safeties and maybe one more edge rusher away from being a legit defense, again, if everybody can stay healthy. So again, I always tell you guys, I appreciate you in the comments. Please bring all your comments. Really appreciate it. Pure Adrenaline of Sports says, offense had some momentum going and special teams killed it. Man, that field goal kicker, that was like a Vedvik situation. That was legit like a Vedvik, like here today, gone tomorrow. Like, let's bring him in. Oh, shit, never mind. Like, that's legit what happened. So everyone's like, and I was the same way. I was like, Amendola was terrible. Then we watched Kessman and we're like, oh, where's Amendola? Did they keep him somewhere? But I don't know, man. I mean, they just signed, I think it was Panay, I believe, Eddie. They just signed the guy that was with the Chicago Bears. Let's see. We've been looking for a kicker a long time. We clearly don't have one right now. Let's see. Maybe we can finally get one. I'm with you, Jets gang. Jets, 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 Jets. Let's do it, baby. Jets, 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 Jets. Let's go. So again, guys, bring your comments. Bring it right now. Happy to talk about it. Everything you want to say. Jets game saying Zach was going light. Going light. Eagles defense was going to light the Eagles defense up. The one good thing we saw yesterday was he can read zones better than man. Man, again, I felt like going back, like we just talked about before, just the week before, I felt like Zach Wilson played well. He just wasn't making his throws. He looked like a rookie that, again, like all the things we were talking about, maybe it was just too fast for him. Maybe he wasn't getting his feet set. Maybe just, the defensive lineman had him, something had him off. But his reads were good. His progressions were good. His decisions, for the most part, were good. And he looked like he was learning. Again, we talked about it. Everyone wants that, legend guy day one. It doesn't work like that. So this is good. I really loved what I've been seeing from him the weeks prior. I loved what I saw from him when he played. As we didn't really play in the second half, and he's thrust in with barely being on the field with no time left, tries to make something happen. From my angle, it looked like he didn't, I could be wrong, it looked like he didn't have a good view 100% on the receiver, but he made the throw anyway. Like we said, coaches said be decisive. So you know what? That's a win, honestly. Because remember, the coaches said, literally listen to Zach's quote. They said, be decisive. If you make a bad decision, at least you learn from it. If you make it, you learn from it. You don't make it again. That's what matters. But be decisive. So I'm cool with it. I am 100% cool with everything I saw based on, what the coaches are looking from Zach Wilson. I am 100% cool with what I saw from him in that game. So Cali Jet, shout out to Cali. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you tuning in. Thank you for being here. Cali Jet said, I'd extend Cole and Berrios ASAP. Losing Crowder this offseason. Must resign these two at the minimum. Drafting a receiver early or signing Gallup is also a good idea. Man, we've talked about this in the past. I think we talked about it it was like a year or so ago. Maybe 6 months, I'll be on. I forget, I don't know the time, but whenever we were talking about it, man, we were talking about Michael Gallup. I'm a big Michael Gallup fan. I think Michael Gallup is massively slept on. I think this dude is a legit wide receiver too. You plug him next to Elijah Moore, woo, I'm excited. Like, that gets me going. So you want to sign Michael Gallup? I'm cool with it. Throw a check at him. But I don't know if we're going to maybe lose Crowder. I mean, maybe, again, Crowder, he's not. What is he? I think he's going to be 30 next. Hold on one second, guys. I'm going to look it up. I think he's going to be 30 next year or 29. He's going to be 29. So Crowder's going to be 29 next year. He's still a top receiver in the league. I could see the Jets giving him $5 million with maybe another $1 million or $2 million guaranteed. I would do it. I mean, again, we got the money. That's the point. You got the money. Crowder is legit. I like Braxton Berrios. But let's be honest, Jamison Crowder is a lot better than Braxton Berrios. So I like Braxton Berrios a lot, but I'd keep Jamison Crowder, and I would definitely extend Cole. I think Keelan Cole is massively slept on. I, again, mentioned it before that I think everyone's like Denzel Mims is going to get the opportunities. Well, everyone said the same thing in the preseason, but they were let down because, like Salah said, he ain't jumping rosters. We're not magically having Mims jump the guys that are above him and playing better than him just because fans want him to. So I think everyone's like, Mims is going to get more of an opportunity. Keelan Cole, man. Keelan Cole is going to get the opportunity now that that Corey Davis is out. And I am excited about that, man. We mentioned, how he makes some unbelievable catches. Man, he looks legit when the ball goes his way. I've been saying for a long time, you guys have heard me, for a long time here, I've been saying Keelan Cole needs more opportunities. I've been saying it for a long time, and I stand by that. Keelan Cole needs more opportunities to show what he can be. So Anthony said Zach's a stud. I'm with you. Easy answer. 100% a stud. Also can't wait for Lawson to be back. Man, just think about it. The interior of this line is already solid, already pretty awesome. You could probably re-sign Foley. I don't think he'd be super expensive to re-sign. Rankins and Q are obviously still going to be there. So you got John Franklin Myers, you just signed long-term. Lawson's going to be back. Huff's going to be back. Man, that's already a solid line. That is already a legit defensive line that, again, you add in, let's just say the Jets find a way to get Thibault. I mean, that's it. Game over. Teams are going to be it's going to be like Nick and Joey Bosa are on the same team together. Shaq and Kavian are they're going to murder people. It's just going to be lights out. So I think we're good the way we are, but we'll see, man. Pure Gentleman Sports says will Lawson be the same? I've mentioned this a lot. We've talked about this in the past. I talked about it when Teddy Bridgewater came back from injury. People say this all the time. They forget how tough the NFL is. It's why we see so many rookies get hurt in their rookie year, because they're literally adjusting to like a different sport, basically. So I have always said that for players in the NFL to come back from injury, I said it about CJ Mosley too, they need to come back better than they were when they got hurt. That's the key. If you don't come back better than you were or stronger than you were, it's not going to work. You can't do it. Unfortunately, we saw that with guys like Victor Cruz, who I was a huge fan of. You need to come back. Teddy Bridgewater, his knee was stronger when he came back. Robert Griffin's weren't, and we saw what happened. But again, from what we're hearing, Shaq Lawson, wrong Lawson, Carl Lawson is ahead of schedule. And being ahead of schedule, again, doesn't necessarily mean he's going to come back stronger, but it's a good sign. It is 100% a good sign. So I believe in Carl Lawson. I think this kid is a gym rat. We've seen him. He's jacked. He's in the gym all the time. He's a tough kid. I think he wants to come back better. I really do. I think we haven't seen him that much. I think he's devoted himself. I think he's devoted himself to coming back better, stronger, and he will, just like CJ Mosley did. CJ Mosley, I kept saying, he'd been out for 2 years. He's almost 30 years old. Man, he came back 20 pounds lighter, and he's been dynamic. PFF is raking him over the coals. I say it again. PFF is doing CJ Mosley massive dishonor. He's not the best linebacker in the league, but he's been damn good. He has been a damn good linebacker. Appreciate all you guys. Appreciate NFL Chaos with Jeremy. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for being here, saying what's up. MC Squared. Man, we talked about him before. He is a legit future star. And again, you look at that defense. Bryce Hall, sorry. No, yeah. I thought I said tough. Bryce Hall was right the first time. CB1, legit CB1. Brandon Echols. Even Javelin Guidry has looked good at CB2. But let's not forget Brandon Echols was looking really good in just a few games as a rookie. So let's see that potential there. And Michael Carter II has looked like a legit star. Like people have been talking about beginning of the season. He was putting up numbers that rivaled Darrelle Revis. So in his rookie year. So that's exciting, man. So MC, that secondary looks really good minus a few safeties. You definitely need to add some safeties to that equation. But otherwise, that's an exciting secondary. So I appreciate all you guys being here. Like always, I appreciate all of you guys for tuning in to the Take Flight Spit and Fire podcast. Thank you for being here on your Monday evening. Thank you for tuning in and be with me. Love to talk to you guys about the Jets. Love for you being here. Thank you for giving me your comments. Love to chat with you guys. So again, I'm going to definitely try to be here every single Monday because I want to be with you guys. Possibly maybe try to get to you other days during the week as well. Really looking forward to it. But thank you again for tuning in to the Take Flight Spit and Fire podcast. You got me, Harrison Glazer. Really appreciate you guys. I want you to have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. And just remember, Zach Wilson is coming. His time is very slowly coming here. He's going to be coming to the spot to be the quarterback, and the team is coming there. It's not immediate, but just remember, everything in this life that's worth anything doesn't come easy. And in the past, we've unfortunately been building with crap, but now we're building right. And we're seeing it. It's going to take some time, but we're moving in the right direction. And man, I'm excited. I'm loving me some Zach Wilson. I loved it last week on Sunday. Love what I'm seeing from this kid. It's only going to get better from here. And I am ready to finally be a damn good team. I'm ready to be a team that people are afraid of. The Jets, us. We're coming for you, NFL. We're coming for you, and you better be ready. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week.